Give me your thoughts. Give me your predictions about this matchup, especially about their players.
HuK has had a really weird PVT style. I know he's based his PVT off of eight gateways.
Yeah, like a quick 8-gate or like some kind of like timing push.
And honestly, in NASL, that's all I've really seen him done. He loves to do that build. I have seen him do that a couple times more in other tournaments, but still, he does really love to be micro-intensive whenever he goes into it. Now, against a player like Rain that studies his opponents and is able to make those calls and to see that, hey, this player is kind of, you know, very, I don't want to say cheesy, but super aggressive in that early game stage. I think Rain should be able to read that, make the call, make the right decision, and ultimately take the series. I'm actually favoring Rain, not only because I think he has the capacity to beat his opponent, but also because, unfortunately, as you said it, HuK is in an unfortunate slump.
Well, I mean, he did pick up some good wins. He beat Gonzi last week, of course, in the same division. He also beat Teja in the EG Masters Cup. And he's run into Rain multiple times. Actually, he ran into him in NASL Season 2.
Yeah.
And HuK's been able to come out and win. Now, of course, those were different maps. It was Crevasse and Shelnaga Caverns.
I remember those games
too. I mean, he's ran into Rain on Test Bug and like Metalopolis, all these really old school maps. And now we're on Ohana, a map that we've seen a lot of interesting strategies in PvT. What can we really expect from Rain here on this map?
Well, Rain's doing a command center first.
Yeah, macro play.
Very macro play. And
as macro as you can get.
I feel like this is probably the worst style to go against HuK.
Yeah, he's super aggressive early on.
Yeah. And the big problem with going command center first is understanding what your opponent is doing and what your opponent is capable of. And
yes,
HuK, he has the potential to go 1 base and 2 base all-ins. And the big range of builds is actually very hard to keep up with when you are going this style. There's no like clear-cut, this build works for everything. Sometimes it's appropriate to go 1 barracks, double refinery, and tech up and get like a pseudo 1-1-1 to defend against everything. Sometimes it's very efficient to go for what Rain is doing, a double barracks. Now it's unfortunate HuK, if he actually went up into that front, he would see double barracks and he would accordingly prepare for that. But as it is right now, he's not done that. I would have loved HuK to actually place, even though it sounds crazy, place another assimilator. He can use it or he doesn't have to use it, as long it just provides a lot of mind games.
Yeah, and I mean, HuK has a couple options here. Obviously, he could turn on the aggression, place a lot of gateways, and just try to see if he can completely punish Rain. He could also try to see if he can expand and put light pressure. We've seen players like MC, like if they see a Terran being really greedy, they just expand and then add a couple gateways and just pressure Terran pretty easily. And just like that, yeah, HuK doing very trademark aggression, just sending 1 Zealot, and no doubt Stalker's going to catch up. And Rain's just going to lose SCVs no matter what happens here. And a good surround on the Zealot, but actually letting him free. As you can tell right now that Rain is not feeling comfortable. HuK realizing that he's going to be pretty safe. He's going to back off for now. Going to drop a Nexus momentarily. And do you think he did enough damage there?
Yeah, 4 SCVs is actually plenty. Income tab showing 14 harvesters to 23. Of course, mules make up for that. We talk about that every time, so they're pretty even in the income. What's so important is the 2 gases that HuK has been able to establish. These give a lot of agency for HuK. He can go into this gateway style. This is more standard, I would say, 3 gateways. But I think a lot more often we see either a robo or, well, it's normally a robo, isn't it? So it's a robotics facility before the 2 gateways get placed down. I've been actually messing with a forge before my 2 gateways, and that's been really effective. Obviously, getting
early upgrades and whatnot. But based off HuK's style, we've been seeing him just be really aggressive early on. And forge is more like a passive gearing up for the mid game, and that ain't HuK.
No, he's doing his patented 3 gateway pressure, and we know he loves to do this.
I thought it was MC who loves doing this, man.
Oh,
I was like, oh, he goes with 3 gateways and pressures, and he's like, oh, this is HuK's patent thing.
No, he always used to do this. He did a different variation where he goes for a 20 Nexus. Obviously, he didn't do that here, but he gets 20 Nexus, gets a single, a single sentry, and then he has Guardian Shield to prepare for anything. Oh, he's going 2 sentries. Interesting.
Yeah, and I think he's just stockpiling a lot of sentries early on just to gather enough energy, because the thing about Ohana is that the ramp is a little bit hard to bust just because it's a little bit thinner. than other ramps that you're used to, like Belshire Beach and like other maps. So you do need force fields to kind of section off and divide accordingly. And HuK's been spending a lot of chrono boost on either his gateways or his probes accordingly. So he's gearing up for some kind of timing, and he's really trying to catch Rain off guard. He's hiding these sentries very well, denying information. And if Rain's not careful, you can see that he's getting a fourth bunker even.
Yeah, I think he's fine. 4 bunkers is more than enough, but don't forget, HuK can blindside his opponent by going into the left-hand side, but here we go, 3-gate pressure. Oh, a lot of the Marines are outside the bunker, but he's not able to force yield in time. 4 bunkers are going to be plenty, and HuK must retreat. So from that, Rain does gain an advantage, but you can see the tech from Rain is still behind. He's double engineering baying. Baying.
He's double E-baying.
Thank you.
I apologize because I'm watching HuK's vision a lot because I want to see how how he's focusing on his unit control right now, especially just because just like you said, he's been known to do certain kind of styles, and I'm trying to see. So we go back onto his cam, and you see 4 more gates in addition, putting him up to a count of 7, as well as a robotics facility. So some heavy 2-base play coming from HuK inbound. And you see that Rain, how is he choosing to transition? He's getting stim, and he's finally taking up to his starport. And he's getting 5 barracks, so a lot of 2-base play from both players.
Still no option for this Twilight Council, and he throws down a robotics bay. Really interesting choice. I'm not sure what he was doing with that Twilight Council.
I guess
the charge. There it is. Okay, so he's okay. Robotics bay gets canceled. Wow. So a little bit indecisive here. And HuK looks to be taking a 3rd base, but Rain, this is like the perfect timing for Rain. 1-1 will finish perfectly, I think, if he chooses to go for that 3rd Nexus. It takes 100 seconds, and look at this. If we subtract 100 seconds, he has more than enough time, so he won't be able to deal, or excuse me, materialize anything from this 1 base. Rain will have the perfect timing attack against what HuK is doing.
And Rain is moving out now. He has a timing with 1-1 and stim if he wants to. Nice snipe on the observer as well. Rain playing very good, despite the fact that a lot of people pin him as this quote cheesy player. And Rain's just been very solid. Catching this pylon is also very significant. HuK warping in as out initially because he thought it was just going to be 1 Marine, but HuK, of course, wants to hide the fact as long as he can that this 3rd is being taken. But this is where Protoss is the most vulnerable, especially HuK in this position, because he's spending so much on teching, trying to get this and that, and he's not going to have that many units to protect the 3rd and his other bases.
Now, based on the observer count, there should be some sort of thing that goes off in Rain's head that says, I need to attack pretty soon because my opponent is teching to something High Templar-centric. Just because, why are you using so much time over there for
great force fuels from HuK, able to trap some of the units initially. Now, the rest of the Marines are kind of forced to engage, but Rain trying to target down some of the sentries. 2 sentries do get picked off. HuK still trying to mask his High Templar, not reveal it whatsoever unless he absolutely needs to. But there's no purpose for them as there are no medevacs for this push. Keep in mind, Rain spent a lot of his time teching to starport, and look at those force fields, a lot being used, but eventually trapping some of the units. And you can see Rain, his army is thinning out significantly. As HuK, he almost used all of his sentry energy there.
Yeah,
so.
he still has a good timing, though. Keep in mind that he has his medevacs on the field, so he can recharge pretty easily. Not only that, he has the capability of dropping now. I don't know where his initial 2 medevacs were at that fight, but those would have been very valuable if he was going up against HuK's army. Now HuK is finally upgrading his 1-1, where 2-2 for Terran is already on the way. I love the positioning of this 1 observer. Here we go. Big Doom drop coming in the back here. Storm is already finished. So these High Templars have a lot of capabilities of doing some serious damage.
And yeah, I mean, keep in mind, Rain doesn't really know about this High Templar business. I was going to say shenanigans, but when he scanned, he saw a robo, and he was really expecting some kind of closet. But now with charge and the lack of gas being used, he knows. So he's getting Mobius Reactor, trying to get his ghosts out. And now he's treading kind of dangerous waters, because if he gets a little bit too aggressive, he can lose easy supply, and HuK will be able to ride it all the way to the late game, which is what every Terran fears.
Of course, now I like what Rain is doing, just making sure there's at least one round of units out in the field. You can see that, oh, these Zealots don't want to engage right now, still do not have 1-1. It will open up a timing for these Marines and Marauders on the right-hand side to get into good position, but the Stalkers have something to say about this.
And, oh man, over in the middle of the map, HuK loses 3 of his sentries for free, and Rain has been able to really pick apart the army of HuK thus far, but Storm can change everything as Rain trying to avoid the storms. As you can see him cutting back as fast as he can. Great control out of our Terran player, but he's kind of suffering on the macro end. His money is spiking.
Oh, wow. Nice positioning. And look at this. He might get in here. Oh, the Forge has actually finished the 1-1, but the Nex is under serious fire. He targets it down. Will he get it in time? It looks like he will, but the units are going to get over here. Oh, almost great positioning, but nice. Storm goes down. He forces his opponent to actually stop from retreating.
Key. That
what
was
a great play.
Sexy. HuK warped in essentially the top of the high ground and trapped the units, but his job isn't done yet. He has to take care of this army at the 3rd, and when he does, he will finally stabilize. And at the end of everything, Rain only killed 10 probes.
Yeah,
so
let's check the replay really quickly. Oh, we already did. Sorry.
Oh.
There we go. So we're gonna see HuK. He's in a bad position because, you know, the 3rd weapons upgrade is actually just now started for Rain. He has 2-2 against the 1-1.
He's going to go up against his army. 2 storms being dropped as HuK he's actually, I mean, the thing is he's been able to use these gas-heavy units like Sentries and High Templars, but the whole idea is preserving them, because once you have the High Templars use their energy, you turn them to Archons, and when you start preserving the Archon count, that's when it starts getting really scary for Terran.
We saw that in the
White Raw versus Jinro.
Thank you. You took it right out of my mouth. White Raw versus Jinro. That was a clear clinic, I would say, on how to keep your gas in your army. But right now, we have HuK, who is just about to get his +2 weapons and his +1
He
shield.
accidentally queued up +2 armor on his Forge too for a while. Yeah, and he was chrono boosting. At first, I thought, why was he chrono boosting an empty Forge? But he pressed it too quickly. HuK, the latency definitely kicked into play there. I know so many times you feel like you start an upgrade and didn't kick in, so a little bit of a misstep there. HuK, of course, his pylons are being cleaned up at the bottom part of the map. Rain being very good, making sure never to be counterattacked, because one of the most annoying things with Terran, if you're trying to drop and be everywhere at once, Protoss just warps and zealots and attacks your bases.
And we're going to see the fight pretty soon. Rain should try to continue this, but there it is, the cloak. Instant snipe on the first High Templar. It looks like just defensive High Templar storms are going to try to prevent his opponent from getting too close. But I like these preemptive scans, making it very hard for HuK to get a good engagement. Of course, making it really nice for Rain to get a great engagement.
Yeah, and we see the Marines have a fantastic position. The Zealots are not in a good area to get their surface area and damage the units. We see Rain cutting back as fast as he can. The Observer now finally in the battle and able to really target down some of the ghosts.
He forgot all his units. Rain forgot all of his units. That's such a shame.
Oh, wow.
That's so funny, but he had all of his medevacs behind. He, of course, had his Marauders and his, Marines, Marauders, and medevacs. Here we go. Big engagement starts out right here. No upgrade is finished, so the upgrade advantage goes to Rain. 3 attack just kicks in, and there it is. GG, ladies and gentlemen. HuK will tap out, giving Rain the win.
With the thumbs down, and game number 1 win against HuK. Now, HuK showed some good moments there, especially, again, his early aggression was effective. He killed 4 probes, forced a lot of mining time off the minerals, and was able to really get his expansion up uninhibited. But the idea was, Rain was able to keep that aggression up and pick off really key things despite HuK microing his heart out.
Well, I think the big thing was the way he used his gas. I think there's a lot of different ways to use your gas that's a lot more effective. You want your opponent to be a little bit stagnant with that production, so go for something like Colossus, like really fast High Templars, something that forces your opponent to just switch the tech completely and say, I can't just mass up in Marines and Marauders. But going for the 3-gate pressure, I think that's a little bit off. You know, your opponent is already getting a ton of units. Why are you actually going into them? Because they have to compensate. They have to get a lot of barracks to deal with any incoming pressure since they went command center first. So right off the bat, I feel like HuK actually lost out a lot. And from there, it was just a losing game since the 1-1 really kicked in.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with most of what you said, but I think 3-gate pressure after 1 gate, especially command center first, it's really cool because Saucid does it a lot, MC does it a lot, and the whole idea is Rain knows he's most vulnerable then, so his preparation was really good. And the biggest thing is he wasn't over greedy.
I would say 1 barracks expansion, but not command center first. I think command center first is completely different because the timings are a lot different.
And Ohana is a map you can easily defend with the ramp as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how it ends game number 1. That will do it. Thank you so much to the sponsor of that match, Azo, for providing the monitors for NASL Season 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll find out if HuK's able to overcome this Korean Terran, or will he finally fall deeper into the slump? Find out after these messages.